Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, April 17th. It is 6:22 right now. We got market opening up in about 8 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up the server real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. And this link sent over to you guys. Sent out. Cool. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. On down to the 8 hour. To the 4 hour. Down to the 2 hour. On down to the 1 hour. On down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15. Down to the 10 minute. Down to the 1 minute. And it looks like we are good to go here. So, all right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, April 17th. It is 6:26 right now. We have market opening up in about 4 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity above. They're kind of bunched up. First level is right here at 39,468. And the closest level below is at 39,287. So we got a bunch of liquidity sitting on both ends over here. If you look at this from a bigger perspective, you can kind of see that, I mean, price for the most part it's just been ranging here. So we've been in this consolidation range for quite some time now. That's kind of where price is currently sitting at the moment. So we'll see what happens here shortly as price continues to move along. So with that said, let's see who's here so far. Morning Sam, morning David, morning Lila, morning Steven, morning Christian, morning Siobhan. Hey Siobhan, good to see you, bro. It's been a while. We see you back here. Sam said expansion already happened, you reckon? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell right here. So it looks like, this looks like accumulation, consolidation, like from like 3 o'clock up until now. So I mean, kind of depends on like how wide of that expansion that you're looking for. Because I mean, yeah, if you want to look at this as the expansion, well, I guess yeah, if you're looking at London session, you could say this is the expansion, the accumulation, and then distribution back up, right? So I mean, it's kind of tricky, but yeah, I guess if you want to measure it from over here, yes, you could say that it's happened already, because that's what it looks like, right? Looks like it's currently in the accumulation phase and then going back into the distribution right after. Been good, Siobhan. I don't know if you were on the live sessions the past couple of days. We're currently on a win streak right now. We won on Monday, won on Tuesday, won on Wednesday, I believe, and then no trades yesterday. Or one on Monday and Tuesday, but not Wednesday. Today's Thursday, of course. All right, guys. Direction for the breakout is looking like it's going to be a sell for the day. You guys are looking to take that. Yeah, so whoever is looking to take the breakout for the day, looks like it's going to be a sell. Okay, so we got the market opening up shortly in about 20 seconds, guys. Check the news for today. So we had news over here at 5:30. Initial jobless claims is pretty much mixed, and that's pretty much it. No other news for today. So news at 5:30, which I'm going to mark up right here. The ATR is currently 34, so it's a little elevated right now. Definitely a little elevated at the moment. So we're getting like this manipulation on open, which has been the case for the past pretty much every day this week. So I'll be watching to see where this ends up going. Not in any positions here, just kind of waiting. So it's been the same thing pretty much every day this week. You get this open manipulation, and then eventually price starts to move in a direction. Let's see, Christian said there's news at 8:30. So I don't see anything here on my calendar at 8:30. I mean, we have the 8-week bill auction, but we'll be off the live session by then. Let me check the. Oh, okay, 5:30. Yeah. Thanks, Christian. I keep forgetting you're on Florida time, 3 hours ahead. All right, so let's see what happens here next as price continues to move along. So this is literally what's been happening every day this morning. You get the manipulation here on open. This is why we've kind of just been sitting for a little bit, for the first 10 to 15 minutes for the most part. I'm going to change the ATR to 7 right now to see if there's any difference between the ATR. Yeah. So I'll change the ATR to 7 in the morning, guys, like right on open, because you can see here that these candles are pretty big initially, and then eventually they start to smoothen out because these candles right here are just way too big. Like this opening candle right here. This is I mean, this thing is huge. It's almost a 100-point candle. Listen, stop being opening because it's not dependable or loyal, right? Yeah, the opening movement it's not well. This whole week it hasn't been smooth for sure. So like I told you guys, it's good to kind of wait a little bit for the market here to stabilize for a few, and then look to see where it goes. There's this thing that Visual was mentioning yesterday about the opening range, right? So I'll see if that's something that he decides to take. So basically, he's looking for price to break and close past, pretty much this range here. These black lines are that opening range that he mentioned yesterday. He's probably here on the live, so we'll see what he ends up looking to take here. But yeah, the market here is doing exactly what we saw yesterday, right? Price kind of pushed up after the first 2 minutes. It starts to move a different direction. Price has been within this range for a while here. It's not exactly a small range. It's a pretty big range if you measure it. So it's almost a 300-point range. So the reason why the market moves like this on open, guys, and this is why I don't really recommend taking this stuff here on open, is because of the tariff news, right? If you guys have been following the tariff news, overnight, Japan had negotiations with the US, right? So that kind of spiked price up a little bit. See, there's some news right here. It says Trump again calls for Fed to cut rates. Says Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. That's crazy. I mean, if you guys have been around during COVID, you guys know that Trump and Powell do not get along. So for the longest time, Trump's been trying to fire Powell, but he can't fire Powell. I don't think he has the ability to fire him. Like they can't, the executive power can't fire Powell. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Yes, this is not the first time Trump has criticized Powell's approach to US monetary policy. It's because like Powell is like usually he has a lot of good things to say, but he was kind of warning it like, we could still go into a recession because like what Trump's doing, it's just causing hyperinflation. So he's not wrong, but yeah, Trump doesn't like that he criticizes. All right, anyways, looking at this so far, we currently have price pushing up. Nice work, Steven. So I'm not sure if Steven entered his entry for the breakout. Looks like he did wait a little bit, like we talked about. So it's kind of good that you've been waiting, Steven, because we've, kind of been warning you about that. And looks like he took that for a sell and he caught it on its way down. He just got in from this higher point and then wrote it back down. So nice work, Steven. Usually I don't tell you to wait, but lately it's kind of been like, it's kind of just been all over the place. But nice work, Steven. Let's see. So ECB speaking right now. Thanks, CERN, for the heads up. Yeah. So the ECB, which is basically the Fed, but in Europe, ECB Lagarde is currently speaking. I don't have any updates on that right now, but just keep that in mind because that could still affect the market, of course. All right. So we don't have any entries here yet. Price is kind of going back and forth. Let's go ahead and take a look at the overall direction of the trend. So looking over here, currently on the higher time frames, we have the 4-hour, which is bearish. Prices below the pivots. Trend meters red. Pivots are angling to the downside. Same with the 1-hour. Prices below the pivots. Trend meters red. Pivots are angling to the downside. Same with the 30-minute over here. So looking at the higher time frames, everything's pretty bearish. Looking at the lower time frames, we have the 10-minute, which is bearish, 5-minute, which is bearish, and the 1-minute, which is bullish. So everything's bearish except for the 1-minute here. The 1-minute is attempting to push to the upside. Like I discussed earlier, Visual has been talking about this. He's been talking about this 2-minute orb that he's been looking at, and we'll kind of see here if it plays through. There's no other entries here right now at the moment. I don't want to clean this up right here, but I'll leave it up for now. This range is actually useful to see how price is going back and forth. So you guys can see over here, price is super wishy-washy, right? There's nothing going on here as as price continues to, move along back and forth. Stephen is asking, is it fine that I entered at 9:30? So did you enter a sell, Stephen, or did you enter a buy? Because if you entered a sell, it should have lost, but you said you hit your TP. That's why I was confused. I thought you entered later. Yeah, so how did you win that? Because the price act, or what was your TP stop loss? Because the only way you could have won that if you took it immediately on open was if you took a buy. Yeah, because if you took a sell here, Stephen, it would have lost. That's why I was confused when you said you reached your TP. If you waited for it, then you would have hit your TP. I would probably wait a minute after because, if you would have waited a minute after, then this would have came back to the downside, you would have hit your TP. So I'm not sure what you did there, Stephen, because if you entered immediately, you would have lost. But if you would have waited, like I mentioned, right now is a good time to wait. Like this week in specific is a good time to wait, like maybe a minute or two. Because if you would have waited a minute, price would have pushed up here and you would have wrote it down. Yeah, I could see you hitting your TP. But if you entered immediately on open, you should have lost that trade because it pushed up about like almost 100 points on the first candle. So not sure what you did right there, Steven. Yeah, I still do the private mentoring. Talk to me after the live session, Steven. We talked about this later. I don't think I have any more slots for today. I have two sessions going on today, with Devin at 2 o'clock, and I have another one at 4 o'clock with Nick. Yeah, just send me a message, and then we'll probably be able to meet next Thursday, Steven, if you want to set that up. Yeah, next Thursday is gonna be open if you want to. Next Thursday, 4 o'clock, Pacific time. But just let me know, and we'll set that up. All right, guys. So looking over here, we still don't have anything to take here. Like I said, the overall trend is bearish. The 1 minute is bullish, but everything else is still bearish. Price is sitting right here at the open. It hasn't really gone anywhere. Let's take a look at the confluences real quick. So looking over here at the 1 minute time frame, here is the 1 minute market profile. We currently don't have any rejections on the bottom end, or sorry, we do have some on the bottom end right here, but price is currently pushing below, so we don't have anything here on the 1 minute. Looking over here on the 30 minute, we do have a top rejection here, so sells are looking like a possibility. Same thing with the 1 hour over here. We do have a rejection off this top end right here, off the point of control, so that could be a possibility for a sell. Looking over here at the volume profile, we don't have anything here yet, but we may get a break and retest off the point of control from the top end. Looking at the clean chart, we have a rejection right here off the whole number at the 39,400. Also a rejection right here at the 39,350. Lastly, looking over here on the support resistance chart, I'm going to go and mark up some zones here. So if you guys have been sitting in on the mentoring session, you'll see that I've taught a lot of people how to do this more recently. It's very simple if you just practice at it, because it's you're kind of just doing the same thing, marking up the zones here. There's no lower zone, so I'll have to go on the higher time frame for that one. On 10 minute, still nothing there. 1 hour. There's a big zone below here, but okay, I'm just gonna leave it as is. I think currently where it's at is fine. All right, so price is currently in the support level right here on the 5 minute. All right, so looking at the range right here, guys, it looks like price is not really going anywhere. It's kind of just ranging between the opening price. So if you look closely, all of these wick rejections are directly off the opening price right here, that blue line. And then the top rejections are off the the top end of the opening balance, or the opening range, whatever people call it. Yeah, there's not really much here to work with right now. We currently have a buy signal that's pending. So with that buy signal that's pending, let's take a look at the market profile. No rejections here on the 1 minute yet. There's nothing here on the 30-minute either. I don't know if the bias here really looks too good, guys. Personally, I don't think I'd be taking any bias here, at least not yet. There's like one confluence right here off the volume profile. It just set up on this current candle. Looking at the clean chart, we have one rejection. So we got about two confluences so far. And then we have one rejection right here off the support level. So we got about three confluences. We have a support and resistance rejection, a clean chart rejection off the 39,350. And then we have a volume profile rejection right here. Otherwise, there's nothing here on the market profile, which is what I consider a little more important. So if you guys are looking to take this buy here for MPSV2, I will mark it up for you guys. But there's just, I don't have any confluences here for me to want to take this trade. Also, look at the overall trend. I mean, everything here is still looking pretty bearish. The 1 minute looks okay, but for the most part, everything here looks kind of bearish though. All right, so we got this candle breaking past the opening balance. So I don't know if you're on here visual. I know this is what you typically look for. Actually, take that back. Why it swung all the way back down. So no closing right there. All right, Steven said happy trading. Yeah, definitely, Steven. We'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, so no closure above. See how price is it's having a hard time getting past this black line right here. Price is in a strong consolidation range right here. No luck getting past opening price and no luck getting past this black line right here. So we have a buy signal. We have a retracement. If this green candle closes above this momentum signal, ideally above this black line right here, this will be a possible setup for an MPSV2. The only problem with this right here is that it's in an area where we're having trouble getting past. So I don't think this would be a really nice setup for the most part, but I mean we'll kind of see and follow along here as price moves along further. I mean, either way, there's still no setup there. Yeah, price is having a lot of trouble getting past this area here. I mean, if I was to draw a smaller range here, see this right here. So the consolidation is really stuck right here. We have a bigger range. So this is the bigger range, this outer range here. And then we have the smaller one that's like right here down the middle. Yeah, so looking at this here, guys, this is kind of where price is sitting right now. All right, so there's no MPSV2 for a buy there. We have a possible setup for a sell here, though. So price is kind of pushing back and forth right now. Currently, we got price at the opening price right now. We got a sell signal that's pending. Let's go back and take a look at your confluences. So there's nothing here on the 1 minute. We have a top rejection right here on the 30-minute off the point of control. We have a top rejection right here off the 1 hour. We have a top rejection currently setting up right here on the point of control off the volume profile. We have a top rejection right here off the whole number. Okay, so the confluences are actually looking good for a sell here. It's at 39,400. And we got price trying to push away from the resistance up here. So a sell could set up pretty nicely here if it does set up. Price finally broke out of that range. So here's the thing. I mean, price was currently in this range up here, but if it comes down any lower, it could still create a new range right here too. But I mean, we'll see. So we're looking for this retracement candle. We have a sell signal here. We have a possible retracement. There's a lot of confluences there, but it's still stuck in this consolidation area. Like, I mean, it's still a tricky area right now where it's at the moment. So ideally, I would have wanted to see this kind of push down or retrace and then come back down right here further. But yeah, it's hard because it's too much consolidation for me. I want it to close low enough. Yeah, same here. Like I want it to close below this black line right here, because this will be pretty much a setup for that opening balance that that visual has been mentioning. Yeah, okay. So visual is here. Good to see you, bro. I marked up those lines there for you so you can follow along too. So in order for this to be an NPSV2, the candle would have to close below this momentum signal right here. So basically below this area. The only problem here is that it's not really close from where it's at. I think a 40-40. Let me change the ATR back to 14. Yeah, see, this consolidation throws me off. Look how this consolidation is going back and forth. I don't think I'd be comfortable taking the sell here, even if it closed below at this point. Yeah, so see how this thing, it pretty much swings back and forth very violently. We have 16 seconds left on this candle, but I feel like this could swing up at the last second. So it's probably not even going to close below, so there's not going to be an NPS here, not yet. Yeah, no NPS there. It's also at the opening price, guys. So it's at the blue line right here, which is, you know, what we consider a red flag. So there's another NPS setting up right here. There's too many red flags in this area, guys. I think I'm gonna sit out on this because if it closes, I'm gonna sit out on it because for one, it's at the opening price. That's a red flag, and then also we have the news price right here, also a red flag. A lot of manipulation here on open today. It hasn't really gone anywhere. All right, so it looks like price is swinging back up. There's not going to be an NPS V2 here. We needed this to close below this line right here with a red candle, which it didn't. Yeah, Sam said waiting for it to break the range. We'll get a better opportunity like always. Yeah, it's just a matter of patience, guys. Matter of patience, matter of discipline. You know, I talked about this with Tarek yesterday and with Chris. Like, it's not a good area to be risking. So, all right, no entry there for NPS V2, guys. Looks like we have a pending buy signal here. So we haven't had any entries come up so far. We had a buy signal here, price retrace, never came back up. We had a sell signal here, price retrace, never came back down. We now got price kind of swinging to the upside right here. All right, so we got the buy signal right there. Let's go back and take a look at the confluences. Again, I don't think there's very many confluences here for a buy, so I'm not really comfortable looking to take buys here, at least not yet. I probably would have to wait until like about the 7 o'clock candle to close because we want to see some bottom rejections right here off the market profile. There's just, I mean, there's nothing here. There's nothing on the 30-minute, nothing on the 1 hour, nothing on the volume profile. There's a rejection here off the clean chart, happened a little bit of a while ago. Is at about 39,300. Looking over here at the support resistance. I mean, price has been within this range pretty much all day. So no push outside of it. It's crazy. Price is really respecting this range here. So if you guys look at this range that I marked up, price has really been within this area for about like almost 30 minutes now. So it was in here pre-market, it pulled into this area, and then it's kind of just been really stuck. It's not having any luck getting past the opening high right here, and then also no luck getting past the opening low right here, or even the opening price. I mean, this isn't out of the norm, right? So seeing this here, this is a normal pattern. Like it's just a consolidation pattern. It's crazy how strong the consolidation is holding. The smaller range right here is about it's about 80 points. So I mean, this isn't unusual. It's just there's no direction right now. Again, if we look at the higher time frames, pretty much everything here is still bearish. The only time frame that's really shifting between bullish and bearish is the 1 minute. But if you look over here on the 1 minute, it's because there's no direction. Prices just going back and forth. So we currently have a buy signal right here. We have a retracement. If this green candle closes above this momentum right here, this basically where this line's at, this would be an MPSV2. However, like I was saying before, there's just no confluences for a buy. So I'm not really looking to take this here. If you guys want to take it, I will mark it up for you guys if it ends up closing above it. I mean, you could use a 40-40 or you could use a 50-50. I think ideally I would probably choose a 40-40 to, like, I don't even think a 50-50 might be a little too far out, but it could be doable. The ATR is currently at 49 right now. 40-40, 50-50. Again, price is having trouble getting past the momentum right here. Yeah, Shiv said, I think I'll wait for a break out of the range. I agree. That's probably the better option. So this is an MPSV2 right here, guys. If you guys are looking to take it, it is currently running right now. So if this breaks out of the range and closes, then I think it's going to push up higher. There we go. We got price broke out of the range, not closed yet, but if it breaks and closes out of it, it's probably going to push up to this next level. It's almost at its full TP. Some kind of like violent candles lately. So right here, this thing spiked up like in like 1 second, spiked up almost like 30-40 points. And then now it is kind of sitting right here. So I think this is going to hit TP. It looks like it's about to. Just looking at the movement of this candle here, it looks like it would be good. No, so it didn't actually close outside the range even, guys. It's been trying to close out of the range here, but it hasn't been able to. There goes another attempt right there. It's probably gonna break through it this time. Looks like it's gonna break through and hit its TP. If it actually closes above it. Again, it swung right back below it. Yeah, it's crazy how much it's respecting that range. I think yesterday the price broke the range at 746, so it didn't take this long for it to break out of the range. There we go. About to hit its TP now, it looks like. Almost there. All right, so it broke the range. We'll see if it holds above this area. I mean, it should. What TP stop loss do you usually use for this orb visual? I'm just kind of curious. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be within what we're using here, but I don't know if you base it off the ATR. So your orb play would basically be up there. I'm not in this position, guys. I'm just watching it. This is an MPSV2 currently running. The ATR is set to 40-40, or no, the TP stop loss is set to 40-40, but it could easily be 50-50 because the ATR is actually at 49. So I'm just watching it here. I'm not in a position where kind of just looking to see. You said the orb's not broken yet. Wasn't the orb right here? So you said the first 2 minutes, right? So this is a high right here. from the opening candle, and then this is the actually the low's not right here. This is the pre-market. Actually, no, now that I'm looking at it, the orb was actually broken. Yeah, it looks like your orb was broken like over here. Because you said the first 2 minutes, right? First 2 minutes of open range. So 6:30 is right here. This is the high. And the 6:30 candle would also be the low. So it looks like the orb actually broke down here. Unless I'm not doing it right. Because the orb did break up here, but it also broke below here. It's both a fake out. I'm not sure how you set it up, but if I remember correctly, I think that's what you said, right? First 2 minutes of open. All right, I'm going to take this off, guys. I want you guys to think I'm in the position. Just trying to understand what my visual was mentioning with the orb. Because yeah, first 2 minutes of opening range. The second candle didn't really go out of it. It was just the first one right here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. Pegs said I'm gonna sell on GJ from 189. Should I hold tomorrow? Um, I'll check that later. So if you're still on later, Pegs, you can ask me later at the end of the session. Not right now, because we're currently looking at these entries for YM. But I can take a look at GJ later at the end of the session once we have some downtime. Vapid said fake out Friday. I think today is Thursday, right? I honestly I thought today was Friday too, but I think today's Thursday. Let me check the calendar. Yeah, today's Thursday. So I think today would be considered what's another Trap Thursday, Trap Tuesday, Trap Thursday, same thing. I mean, this looks like a Trap Tuesday type day, right? Like this looks like a Trap Tuesday because there's a lot of traps being set up here, basically. Like price basically gets trapped out. So it looks like price got trapped out below, price got trapped out above. The entry here is still running, guys, for the MPSV2. I mean, this will probably still hit, but it's just a matter of time. Okay, got you. So visual said yes, but you need to use the 2 minute candle to see if it closes above or below. Actually, use a 2.5. How do you do that? How do you do a 2.5 minute candle? Let me see a 2 minute candle right here. So if you're using a 2 minute candle, wouldn't it still be the same order? Because so here's a 2.5 minute candle, like this one right here. It would still be at the same area, right? I don't know. I'm just confused. I'm super confused now. Because we're here on the 2 minute candle, and if you're using a 2 minute candle, it'd still be at the same area. So this is the high of the 2 minute candle, and this is the low of the 2 minute candle. So it's still lined up exactly where my 1 minute's at. I don't even know how you go to that 2.5. Yeah, I can't even put it at 2.5 interval. I mean, either way, your range still kind of lines up with the range that I marked up here. So regardless of the fact, it would still kind of be in the same area. Let's see, this MPSV2 is on its way up, almost at its full TP and full TP right there. If you guys took that, nice work. If you guys didn't take it, it's completely fine. Man, this is kind of a crazy trade right here, huh? So looking at this right here, we got a buy signal and retracement. This candle broke and closed past the momentum. The entry would have happened on the close of this candle. The ETR was at 50, so the TP stop loss was set to 50-50. And you can see over here, this thing took you for a roller coaster ride. It went up for a little bit, came down for a little bit, and it came all the way back up, which ended up hitting TP. So there goes the first entry for the day. It was an MPSV2. I didn't take it right there because, obvious reasons, like we mentioned, there just wasn't any confluences for a buy. And then it was still stuck within the range here. So there goes that. I'll be looking for the next opportunity here now. So price came up, grabbed liquidity up there. Now we just got price. I mean, basically going sideways over here. Let's see, Brian is asking if the market is open tomorrow. So I think tomorrow is Good Friday, right? Market should be closed, I believe. Thing is, it's not on the calendar. Yeah, it's weird. It's not on the calendar at all. I remember like years ago, it used to be on the calendar. Um, hmm. Yeah, tomorrow's considered a Good Friday. It seems like there's nothing going on though, so markets might be closed. So I didn't get an email or anything from anybody. Yeah, let me check real quick. Let me Google. Is NYSE open on Good Friday? Perfect. Everyone's Googling it. Okay, yeah. So markets closed tomorrow. The Wall Street Journal just posted a couple hours ago, says the US stock market and bonds market will be closed on Good Friday. Bond trading is due to wind down early this afternoon. Okay, so yeah, markets will be closed tomorrow. For some reason, it doesn't show on the calendar. It usually does. But yes, Friday is Good Friday. It's Easter this weekend. So yeah, so I'm looking over here. It says the financial world is taking a Good Friday pause. Two major stock exchanges, the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, will be closed on Friday in observance of the Christian holiday. Okay, thanks for asking about that, guys, because I forgot to totally check. Yeah, Brian, it's going to be closed tomorrow. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Yeah, Mike said that this entry over here failed on the 40-40, was not in the position. And his entry, his ATR was at 46. Here, let's see. I'm gonna go replay real quick and let's see where it was at. So I just replayed this right here. Mike, it looks like the ATR was actually at 50. So when the candle right here closed, the ATR was at 50. And that's why I said it's at 50-50 right there. It might have been at 46 on the previous one. No, it was actually at 51, so it was actually a little higher. Let me check my settings over here. Yeah, so make sure that your settings are at 14, or let's see if it was at 7. What's it at 7? At 7 is actually higher. Mike, not sure where your ETR settings are at, but it looks like it was at like it was above 50 at the time of entry. So I think 40 would have just been too tight. Initially, 40 looked like okay, but then the ETR started to pick up as we got closer to like the entry point. You know, I think it's because this candle here was like kind of flipping back and forth, like it was like really low and then it got big. So it's probably at 46, like on this previous one. And then it started to get higher and higher as price moved along. But yeah, looking at this here, this is the entry, right? Buy signal retracement. This wouldn't be the entry candle, this one would be. And it looks like the ATR was set at about 50. So even if it was on the higher 40s, if we round it up to the closest 10, it would basically be at like 50 for the most part. I mean, it's okay. You know, the thing is, that's why for me, I tend to want to round it up. So instead of using 40 here, I might switch my my TP stop loss to 50. But I'm not going to change it right now because at the moment we're currently at it's like 7 o'clock right now. So with it being 7 o'clock, we'll be waiting to see if you know, the ATR slows down a little bit or if it stays pretty high. Let's see, 14-14. Let me go check that real quick. Yeah, you probably want to change your look back to 7 because these are the default settings. I think you might have just accidentally changed that to 14 at some point when you're kind of going back and forth. But yeah, I think these are the default settings for the trailing stop. So probably just keep it at the default if you can. I only changed it to 7 on the first couple candles because, you know, obviously you can see over here market opened up, candles are small. And then they just started picking up here on open. Let's see, Tarek said buys look here if we break a little higher and set up. Look good here. Yeah, no, definitely. I can see it. So let's go take a look at the confluences again. All right, yeah, so the buys do look good here, looking at the 30 minutes. So what I would like to see here possibly is either a retracement to the point of control, bounce off and push back up higher, or I want to see price push above and break and retest off this value high. Two different scenarios here on the 1 minute. Looks like price will probably come down and reject off the point of control, like I just mentioned. So one of those setups right there. Also the 30 minute. I mean, the sells here could look good too, Tarek, now that I'm looking at it, because it's rejecting off the value high. I think either way, buys or sells will look good. If price pushes up higher, the buys would look good. If price pushes down from here, the sells could look good. Looking here on the 30-minute time frame, we have a rejection off the value high. Looking over here on the 1 minute, 1 hour, we don't have rejections off here, but if we do get a pushback to the upside, we'll get a rejection off the point of control. Looking over here on the volume profile, we don't really have much here, but price is sort of rejecting right here off this top end, the value high. And the clean chart over here, we don't really have much at the moment. Price is still kind of like magnetizing to this middle zone here. It's been here for the support resistance for a while. This is the 5 minute, the 5 minute support. And we're back in the range over here, guys. So looking at this here, it looks like, so, I mean, just looking at like what's in front of us here, price tends to pull right back into this middle range. So price will push up, it'll bounce off the resistance, fake out, come right back below, and then it just kind of sits here for a while. Then it comes up a little bit, or it comes below here, fakes out, and then it pushes back up, and then it pushes above this area, rejects off the resistance, and then it pulls back into that range. So I mean, the whole meat of the market is really down here. This is where price is kind of sitting and staying. Every time it pushes out, it's like a temporary push to the outside, and then it comes back into this middle zone. You know, I totally forgot that this week was a holiday. It was Good Friday, so it makes sense how this market is currently moving. It's been kind of slow all week. Not really slow, but it's been slower than usual. And we've had a lot of consolidation ranging this week, so it goes hand in hand with it being a short holiday week. Whenever it's a short holiday week, it tends to be kind of tricky like that. And like what Nick mentioned, fake out Friday, exactly. Today's our Friday, guys. So Nick can get away with calling it fake out Friday, which is basically, you know, this like it's just going back and forth. So the thing is, you can trade within this back and forthness, but you just have to make sure that your confluences are there. Christian said, look at that harmonic pattern there. Yeah. Christian's the harmonic pattern professional here. Running it back to IML days. All right, so let's see. We got nothing else over here, guys. Price is still, I mean, the sell signal still hasn't closed. I figured the sell signal would have closed on like maybe this candle or even this one over here, but it hasn't. So we're back into the range down here, guys. This is a good thing. I mean, the market might, so my markups here might look a little messy, but it makes sense to me. So you can kind of see prices respecting these ranges here. I marked up this opening range here. This is basically like the big range. So if you look at this right here, this range that I marked up top, this is kind of where price has been stuck at. Yeah, I mean, it's been here since like earlier this morning, since 3 a.m. So 3 a.m. price established this upper range. It came all the way down here, established this lower range. And this is kind of where the big range has been kind of pushing back and forth. In between this time, we have the smaller range that's right down the middle right here. So what I can do here is I can actually turn this off and you can see the big range there. So see how price respects that big range? Respects up here, respects down here, respects up here, etc. Right? Very respectful of the range there. Then I drew this middle range right here. So basically we have a big range and we have a smaller range. But again, price just kind of pulls back into this middle area. Still no sell signal, so I mean there's really nothing here to take. If I got to close out this week with no trades today, I'm completely fine with that, right? We're having a pretty decent week so far. So looking at my stats for the week so far, for the month, I'm still down 20,000, which is not very much. That's like one trade. So I'm one trade away from bringing my accounts back into profit for the month. For this week so far, I'm currently at 56,430, so nothing to complain about here. We took one trade on Monday, one trade on Tuesday, no trade yesterday. Today I was hoping to take a trade, but if it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up, right? You guys have to be okay with that. I was just talking to Tarek about that. That's like the thing with a lot of people. Like you have to be okay with not taking a trade. You have to be disciplined to stay out when there's no entry there. Obviously, there's no entry here for me. I wish I could take a trade. Like I would like to, but if the setup doesn't come up, I'm not going to force any trades here. If you guys force any trades, you're just one step away from blowing your account because you guys have been through that phase before, right? You take one trade that's like lucky or unlucky, and then you start to go into this downward spiral where you revenge trade and you overtrade, and then poof, your account's gone. So I have to lead by example, and I'm showing you guys here that it's okay to not take a trade if it's not there. If the trade comes up, I'll take it, but there's nothing here yet. So we'll continue. Yeah, Shivam said, "Yep, been there a million times," and you're doing really good now, Shivam. You have like a bunch of funded accounts, so I think you've kind of opened up your thought process. You just got to play it smart. I mean, that's really what it is, guys. I feel like a lot of people want to overcomplicate trading. For me, for the most part, I try to keep it super simple, and then I use the confluences for my confirmation. Like I've been using this MPSV2 for like pretty much all year. It's been hitting. It's just the entries don't always come up. Let's see. Dylan said Trump is asking for Powell termination, and I saw that earlier today. Trump hates Powell. It's so funny. Like if you guys have been around since COVID time, like Trump was like the person to shake up the market, but then Powell was like the guy who would just calm the market down and then spike price back up. So he's been trying to fire him for a while. The thing is, I don't think he can fire him with his executive power. Yeah, Powell has to be voted out, or he needs to resign. So that's a good thing because we still need Powell. Powell's known as the money printer. So as long as he's in control, we'll have some sort of we'll have some sort of guide there to kind of help us. Because the thing is, Powell keeps it real. He'll tell us if the market's like he's not going to lie to us. I think Powell's probably one of the few people in the administration right now that's like not causing a circus. So that's why Trump doesn't like him because he tells the truth. Yeah, so we had this right here. I think I showed you guys earlier. Trump again calls for Fed to cut rates. Because here's the thing, Trump wants the Fed to cut the rates because he wants a bailout. Powell's like, we can't cut the rates. If we cut the rates, we're gonna go into a recession. And that's why they're kind of they're butting heads. Which is smart. I mean, it's like, at least you have someone in the Fed that's going against Trump. Because what it seems like for this presidency, basically whatever Trump wants, he gets. And you guys have seen it. If you look at the immigration policy, you look at the tariffs, you look at literally everything. Like whatever Trump wants to do, he just goes right ahead and does it. One thing that we don't see as much anymore is we don't see Elon. I haven't heard from Elon in maybe a couple of weeks now. So it looks like he's really taken a step back from Dodge and all that stuff. I still don't see Vance. It's kind of crazy. If you guys have been following the presidency for like this year and last year, I don't see JD Vance at all. He just kind of pops up out of nowhere and he's like, "Don't talk about my president like that." If you guys have seen like the other countries criticizing the tariffs, you'll just see Vance come out of nowhere and tell people to not talk shit about Trump. And that's it. He'll say that and he'll disappear for like another couple of weeks or another couple of months. It's funny. All right, so we got a sell signal right here that's currently pending, guys. This could start to set up for a possible MPSV2 if it does close. The only thing here is that we got a lot of red flags down here. All right, so no sell signal there yet. It's all good. I'm paying attention to the charts, guys. Don't worry. I know we're kind of going off topic, kind of joking around about Trump and what's going on around the world, but I'm still paying attention to the charts. So don't worry. Still looking for this entry today. It's 7:17, so we still got a lot of time, guys. There's no rush. This entry might come around the 7:30 time. Who knows? Yeah, Daniel said Trump, Elon has 4 other companies to run, LOL. Shivam said, I do find it strange that Trump nominated Powell. Yeah, I do too. I do too. Christian said Vance is like Trump's Chihuahua. Lila said Elon's brother posted that Trump was a moron. His brother works for him. I know it's kind of crazy. Like politics right now is kind of like a circus. It's like what's his name? There's that one guy who is he's a sports reporter for ESPN. Man, I forget his name. But he said he needs to run, like he has no other choice but to run for president. It was like on the news the other day. And everyone's like, what? See if I can find his name. I'll just type in ESPN reporter president. Oh yeah. Stephen A. Smith. He wants to run for the Democrats. You guys have probably seen him before. Like I thought this was a joke, but he's serious. Yeah, it's this guy, Stephen Smith. He was like, he basically said that he has no other choice but to run for president. If you guys ever watch sports, you know Stephen Smith. He's always talking crazy on ESPN. But yeah, I mean he's trying to run for president, which I think is insane. We'll see. Yeah, Kyle said we're living in a reality TV show. What it feels like at this point. All right, guys, the sell signal never closed. We still got a pending sell signal here. So again, like I said, I'm still looking for entries here, guys. There's just no entries here to take at the moment. So I'll keep looking. The ATR is currently at 45 right now, so I might have to make adjustments to my TP stop loss, maybe adjust it to 50-50 instead of 40-40 because it's still a little high. Let me scroll up real quick. So Shivam said, yeah, just secured another funded. So 22 in total. Move to Tradeify. My rule is if I get an itch, I do it on my eval to get rid of that feeling. That's a smart move, Shivam. I mean, so like what Shivam mentioned here is, if he ever gets like that feeling to take a risky trade, he just trades it on his eval, not on his funded accounts. So here's all of Shivam's accounts. Nice work, Shivam. So he's been killing it. If you guys have seen, Shabam's been part of the group for a long time now, but more recently he's just become a lot more consistent with his trading, of course. Oops. Yeah, so Shabam over here has about 20 PA accounts with Apex, and he's got about 4 Tradeify straight to fundeds. Nice. Yeah, solid work. You're at the 159 right there on that Tradeify, Shabam. So you're almost at your well, I mean, I think you could request a payout now on that one. It's a 9,000 threshold. That's where that's Target's goal. Hopefully you can hit that by the end of the month. Once you get that 9,000, good. All right, there's a sell signal here that is active. We have price pushing down. We have a retracement right here on this current candle or possible retracement. Let me go ahead and take a look at the confluences real quick. So I don't have any confluences on the 1 minute. I have one confluence here on the 30, one confluence here on the 1 hour. There's a sort of confluence right here on the volume profile. No confluences on the clean chart. And possible confluence over here on the support resistance. We have about 1, 2, 3. We have 3 confluences. It's not super strong, but there's 3 confluences right there. All right, so we got the retracement right here. If the next candle closes red, I mean, this could be a possible setup for MPSV2. It's not looking like it's going to close red here, but yeah, it looks like price is swinging back up. Gotcha. Okay, Chilomia. So kind of mixed plans over there for your trade file. That's solid. All right, so there's a possible setup here for MPSV2, guys. Kind of depends on how the candles here ends up closing. This candle does not look like it's going to close red. We need to have a red candle that closes below this black line right here in order for it to be an MPSV2. It's also at news price right here. This is a red flag. All right, so this could be a possible MPSV2 entry. I'll be following this candle here to see how it closes. This right here is not touching the red flag, so this could be a possible setup if it doesn't swing up. All right, Visual, we'll see you back here on Monday. It's all good. Take that on the chin and come back on Monday fresh. Like we talked about, it's a holiday week, guys. All right, so it's touching the red flag again right there, guys. Possibly no red candle at this point in time. Yeah, so Visual is doing what I was typically doing before. He's doing one shot a day, which is smart. That prevents you from over trading, prevents you from making a lot of unnecessary mistakes, of course. All right, so it looks like we, again, may have a possible setup right here for MPSV2. Another candle just came up. That's the target we'll be taking if it closes below and we get the setup. Okay, so yeah, I'll be looking to maybe take this with you too, guys. I just need to make sure it doesn't flip up again like it's been doing lately. Hey, Brock, how's it going? Looks like you made it today. All right, this is gonna be a little tricky. I think this candle might be a little too big. We got 20 seconds left on this candle right here. Yeah, personally, I don't like the big wick down here. You gonna take it, Tarek? I'll follow for you. You end up taking it right here. Just the price action is so choppy. All right, so right here is the MPS V2 currently running for a sell. I thought about taking with Tarek here, but when I saw the big wick on the bottom, it just kind of turned me off to taking this trade here. Like we talked about this earlier this week, you can kind of see how the price action is on the candle while it's active. And yeah, I didn't like how this candle was closing. The wick on the bottom is just way too big. Oh gosh, okay. Yeah, so Tarek said not in, wanted to close below red body candle. Yeah, Brock's a 25-point wick. Yeah, that wick was big. Not exactly the setup that I'd be looking to take here. Another rejection off the moose price right there. So I'm not in this position, guys. I was hoping to maybe take it, but the price action wasn't good on the current candle. I'll take this off. We'll continue following it. I'm just not in the position here. Here, I'll kind of scroll this up a little bit so there's some space. I mean, if you guys still want to enter, there's opportunity for late entry. Right there, it's still currently running. Seems like this week is a little bit of a toss-up. Seems like with the market that we're currently dealing with. I honestly, I prefer this market than the crazy market though. So then what we dealt with last week, I prefer this market. I know it's kind of choppy and it's kind of back and forth, but I prefer this market versus the crazy 100, 200 point candles. I'm gonna take this off. I don't want you guys to think I'm in the position. Sam said, yeah, so Sam skipped it as well. Price smart move there. Looks like it might be establishing another consolidation range right here, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Possibly another consolidation range. Let's see, question from Glenn. Glenn is asking, isn't the news price at 39,273? Let's see. Let me go over here to 530. So 5:30 this morning. Oh, you're right. Thanks, Glenn. Yeah, I kind of screwed up with that right there. I marked it on this one, the one after it. So yeah, you're right, Glenn. The news price is okay. So this entry here was actually at news price. So it was considered at a red flag. I mean, either way, it's still currently running right now. Yeah, it was at news price though. So this was considered obviously a red flag right there. All right, so Target got in, currently in it right now. Yeah, Shivam said suggestion for anyone using copiers, I'd say put a fixed daily loss limit and weekly loss limit. So in case something happens, you don't blow your account. Did this for all my funded accounts on Tradeovate fixed limits. Yeah, I do the same thing, Shivam. That's smart that you did that. I did that just in case. So it just pulls me out whenever I get to like a certain loss limit. So I never really trade on tilt. What I have is I have my limit set to lock out my account too. So if I ever like lose a trade, it'll lock me out so I can't take any more trades. Like once I get to that limit. And there you go, full TP right there. I don't know if you caught that target, you might still be in it, but great work right there on catching this for the correction. Nice. Yep, Tarek said full TP and he's out. Solid, bro. I was waiting to get into like once this thing, like when it came up right here, I was like, I'm gonna wait for it to come back down, maybe put a pending order right there. But as soon as it came down, it was already too late. But it's all good. It played out perfect. You know, the confluences were there. You had the top rejection on the 30, top rejection on the 1 hour, top rejection on the volume profile, top rejection on the clean chart right here. Actually, it was actually nice that it came up and retraced like that target because it actually came up and it created a rejection right there off the 39,300. And then also rejection right here off the support resistance. So there was actually a nice confluence across the board, except for the 1 minute market profile, everything but the 1 minute market profile. So solid work right there, Tara. Yeah, Rashida said she missed it. It's all good. I missed it too. I was trying to like not let the phone get a hold of me today. Um, it's all good. 7:30 right now. There may be opportunity for one more entry. We still got 30 minutes left in the market, so see what happens next. Yeah, Tarek said, yeah, seeing price go back a few times and finally come back and close below, gave him confirmation. Yeah, exactly. That's what I would have waited for too, because sometimes it's not best to get in right away. I mean, most of the time it's okay to get in right away, but sometimes it's best to just kind of wait for it to confirm, especially with this type of market. So look at the entries for today. This one over here took a long time to hit, right? Same with the one that Tarek just got into. Right, usually we're hitting these TPs within the first couple minutes. This one over here took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes to hit. It's a long time. This one over here took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to hit. That's still a pretty decently long time. It's way more than the 1 to 2 minutes that it normally takes. All right, so we're currently at the lower range right now. Looks like price is grabbing liquidity from that point. Price came down, grabbed liquidity at this blue line, and then it shifted back up a bit. All right, nothing to take here right now. See what happens here. So it looks like we're going back into some consolidation here. Price is having trouble getting past this lower range. So again, like I said earlier, guys, price is really respecting this big range that we have. So this big range was established this morning during the London session. Established this lower range down here, and again, it's in the same area. So basically, there's a triple bottom right here on the bottom from today. So right there, and then one more right there. So I mean, this might push up, maybe not. Ideally, I think it will push up. If it breaks below, it might drop even further. So if it breaks below this range here, right? So if it actually makes it below this range right here, then maybe it can go even further. But it's been respecting this area for a while now, so it might just bounce off here and come right back up. Let's see, Rashida said might get levels entry for buy at 250 level. Let's see. Let's go to the clean chart. Yeah, I mean, possibly. It looks like that could be it, right? We're having a rejection right here off the whole number. So rejecting right here off the 39,200. If you get a buy signal and it closes above here, it might push up to that next level right there. The confluences are pointing towards the upside, of course, because we're having the rejection off this same point. We got a rejection right here off the 1 minute market profile. We got a rejection right here off the 30-minute. Buys might look good here, actually, guys, now that I'm looking at it. So rejection right there off the 30-minute. And a rejection right here off the 1 hour. So we got rejections on both ends. If a buy opportunity does appear, this could be a possibility for it to push up because we do have some pretty decent confluences here. I wouldn't say great confluences, but they're good enough like to get the job done. All right, the ATR is currently at 40 on average here. We're getting a break below. So we are getting a break below. We actually have no reversal patterns coming up here. So we've had no V1s, or engulfings coming from the downside, which is kind of surprising. I don't know why. I'm super tired today. It's a good thing we don't have trading tomorrow. All right, so we got price basically sitting down here below. All right, guys, if anybody's just joining in with us today, we had two entries that came up, both MPS V2s, of course, because that's all I'm looking at. So we had an MPSB2 hit full TP right there, another MPSB2 hit full TP right here. And that's about it for right now. So we got those two that hit. Looking for a possible opportunity for entry here. Price is finally below the lower range, so sells can continue to drop further. There just isn't any entries here for us yet for the sells. There isn't any confluences either. So what I'm looking for here is I'm actually looking for a correction back to the upside. Because if price pushes up, we'll get a nice rejection right here off the 1 hour. Nice rejection right here off the 30-minute. No rejection here off the 1-minute market profile yet, but almost. Nothing here on the volume profile. Possibly a push right there off the clean chart. Let's see. Samson took a break and retest sell for 30 points finally. Nice. Yeah, I can see that right there. Break and retest off that level right there. It's nice 30 points. Quick and easy. All right. Looks like we will continue to look. 7:40 right now. We got 20 minutes till 8. I'm looking for a buy signal here to come up because I can't really take anything until the buy signal comes up. Maybe get some sort of retracement before I can start looking for anything. So I'm looking for either price to push up and then come back down, or look for price to go down and then retrace up and come right back down further. Let's see, target said 4-hour daily is showing bearish. Wouldn't be surprised if hourly levels or smaller time frames break down. Yeah, same here, because I'm looking over here at the overall trend. I mean, it's been bearish pretty much all morning, right? So the higher time frames, 4-hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, they've all been bearish. 10-minute, 5-minute have been bearish all day. The only thing with the 1 minute here is that this has been kind of choppy. It finally did swing to the downside where it was following the higher time frames, which was expected. It was just a matter of time until it actually moved down. So what I was looking for here is I was looking for price to establish a buy signal for it to retrace up and then come back down. I'm really just waiting for that buy signal. That buy signal is going to be the catalyst here. Let's see, Christian said posted profits on that last trade. Didn't realize it was touching a red flag. No, same here, Christian. I agree. I didn't really see that until later, until after the fact, since Glenn updated it for me. So thanks to Glenn for giving the heads up on that one specifically. Solid, yeah. So profits over here from Christian. Christian said didn't realize the red flag. He took it for a 60-60 and locked in 600 on that. So nice practice right there, Christian. I know you've been having the problems with your account, so it's all right. Still staying in the market to some extent. Yeah, Rashida said the market's just bleeding. Yeah, it was bleeding out right here. Looking for it to finally push up. It looks like it's pushing up here at this moment. We had a pending buy signal, didn't actually close. And then we have another buy signal right here on this current candle. So once we get that buy signal there, we can start looking for possible opportunities for either a buy or look for price to continue back down. So we have that buy signal there. We got a rejection here off the 1-minute market profile. There's nothing here on the 30-minute. The value low got pushed down a bit lower. Same with the 1 hour. Nothing on the volume profile. One rejection off the possibly off the clean chart right here. So we got the buy signal which closed here. There's just not a lot of confluences here for a buy though. I think the sells here would be more ideal. All right. So the candles look like they're really, really flat, but the ATR is still pretty decently high. It's just they're kind of flat for the moment. So let me measure these candles right now. Uh, they're about like 20 to 30 points. So they're not like super duper flat, but they are pretty decently flat. Right here is an MPSV2 that's currently pending for a buy right now. If anybody is looking to take that, the ATR is currently at 36. So probably want to use it at 40/40 ATR. Let's see if there's any confluences over here. I don't think there's going to be very many. There's a 1 minute rejection off the market profile. Nothing on the 30, nothing on the 1 hour, nothing on the volume profile. I mean, there's an older rejection right here down below on the clean chart, and then there's nothing here on the SR. There's only two confluences, so I think the buy here would be a little tricky, guys. It's not one that I'm looking to take. There's not enough confluences there. So I'm not taking this position. If you guys do want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys here. But again, it's not a position that I plan on taking because there's just not enough confluences for me to want to take the entry. So it looks like a lot of people are pulling out of the market for the weekend, guys. Like we discussed earlier, this is a short week for us because tomorrow is Good Friday. So it seems like the volatility here has just completely flattened out a little bit. Entry's running, so I'll follow it for you guys. Just nothing specific here for me to want to take, of course. There goes the entry. Obviously, I would like this trade to hit. I'm not in it, but I would still like it to hit. Yeah, it's super, super slow. Step away for 1 second. Looks like it's still pushing. Yeah, even though this trade looks like it's gonna hit, I'm kind of glad I didn't get into it because this thing was just it's too slow. Let's see, Tarek said I'm in on this one as well, like the rejection on the bottom, sells are exhausted. Yeah, 40/40 is good. Looks like it's about to hit right there, Tarek. So I do think it's a good position. Like you said, it's just the movement was just a little too slow for me. Krishna got in as well. CJ got in. Rashida got in. Nice work, guys. I'll get in with you guys too, but it's a little too late for this for me to. I mean, price is almost at its TP. It's away by like 8 points or less than 8 points. So it was off by like 2 points right there. I think this is gonna push right through it. It's just gonna have one big push and it's gonna hit the TP. It's just a matter of time. All right, almost there. Yeah, the volatility is super flat right now. The ATR is currently at 33, so like it might be better to move your stop loss and profit or even get out already. It's just the ATR is so low at this point. Yeah, like I was saying before, guys, this position it was a good setup. It was just the candles are too slow right now. Like it's too slow for a 40/40. Probably a 35/35 would have been better. Yeah, 35/35 would have hit right there. So pretty much every entry here took like quite a bit of time, as you guys can see. So if you guys are just joining in, we had about 3 entries that came up today. There was one over here that was a full TP. It took a long time, about 7 minutes for it to hit. This one over here also hit for itself, took about 5 minutes for it to hit. And this one over here is still currently running. I mean, it kind of just depends on what your ATR would, or what you set your TP stop loss to. Let's just replay to the opening of the candle. See, the ATR on open was about 37, 38. So, I mean, if your TP stop loss was like, I mean, 40 would have been good, but it, as time progressed, I would have adjusted it to like 35, 35, because it's just really, really slow moving. I think today would have been a real test of patience, because you would have had to hold on to these positions for a while, unless you adjust your TP stop loss. Like I said, 35, 35 would have been good. See, I think like, so if you, let's scroll over to this, the first candle, or the second candle actually. See, the ATR starts to drop to 35, 30, 35. So that's why, like, in this situation, I would have been like, okay, it might be time for us to adjust, right? Because 40, 40 was good initially, but then it starts to drop down to like 35. And at that point, it's like, all right, maybe 35 would be a better option. And it would push up right there. But it's all good. If you guys are still holding on to it, I mean, we continue following it. It's just the ATR is not getting any higher, it's getting lower. All right, guys, nice work. So it looks like a lot of you guys here got out already. CJ got out at 35 points. Rashida's out at 35. Tarek got out with a small profit. Nice work, guys. That's a smart move. Like, that's as smart as you guys can get right there with the positioning and adjusting to the current market conditions. Because like I said before, these entries, they're supposed to hit within the first 2 minutes, right? If you're holding on to this trade for more than 2 minutes, you're going to put yourself at risk, because it should be hitting by then. That's the whole point of basing the trade off the ATR, is that we want it to hit at the average. Technically, it's still running. So, I mean, if you're holding that for the full 40, guys, it's still running. If you're still thinking about on the fence and pulling out, I would just pull out for profit at this point. Like I said, I think this thing is just, the volatility is low, and I think people are pulling out of the market for the weekend already. Tomorrow's a holiday, Good Friday, so markets are gonna be closed. A lot of people are just calling it a week early. Yeah, Target said price got close to target, didn't like how far back down it came. Yeah, exactly. I would have thought the exact same thing. I think if price would have pulled back to open over here, this would have given me a heart attack, right? Like, fuck, I should have pulled that at 35. And Tarek is done for the day. Nice work, Tarek. Yeah, solid profits today, bro. You took the sell over here, full TP, and then you took this one over here as well for a partial. So that's pretty good. Here are my stats for the week, guys. I only took 2 trades for this week, both wins. So I'm currently at 56,430 for this week, all wins, no losses. So pretty nice comeback from yesterday's or last week's kind of crazy market with the tariffs and all that. So these are my stats for the month of April. I'm currently still down a little bit by 1 trade. So I just need 1 winning trade and I'll be back in profit. Here are my stats for the year so far. So for the year so far, I'm currently up 387,960 gross. My net profit is 328,059. My win ratio is currently about 76.77. That's including the earlier trades this year. If I was just to mark up the scalps that we've been taking, basically I started taking that on the 20th up until today, which is the 17th. So these are the stats for that shorter period. Profits are very closely the same, and the win ratio is about the same too. It's about like, or no, it's a little higher actually. So I have a little bit more profit. These are just MPS entries. So if you're just going to factor in the MPS entries, this is pretty much where I'm at. Win ratio is about 80%. And this is literally just MPS. This is no micro scalps, none of that stuff. If we're going to factor in the micro scalps, we'll put year to date. And these are all of my trades basically from January 1st up until today. So you guys can see I've been in an upwards trend, had a couple small loss right here, upwards trend again, small loss, upwards trend. And this just shows you the consistency of like just being consistent in the market. Like if you guys can just stay consistent and not kind of do anything crazy and just stick to your game plan or your trading plan, you should be able to do pretty well in the longer term, bigger scheme of things. So just keep that in mind, guys. My main goal here is really to keep you guys consistent and to keep you guys on track. I mean, that's all that I can really do for you guys, right? I can't really do anything too crazy because you don't want to overcomplicate trading. It's really, this whole year I've been telling you guys to focus on just one strategy. If you guys have been taking the NPS V2s with me, I think you guys have been doing pretty good for the most part. So CJ's asking if we're going to have a live tomorrow. No, markets are closed for Good Friday, CJ. So no live session tomorrow. Just a heads up, guys, if you guys didn't hear that earlier, no live session tomorrow. It is a holiday. The New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ will be closed tomorrow, so there will be no trading. Markets are probably going to close later today in the afternoon, and they are probably not going to reopen until Monday. So, yeah, you're good, CJ. I mean, I didn't even know either. Shimon, the Tuesday. I think markets are open on Monday, right? Is there anything on Monday? Let me see. Yeah, because Easter is on Sunday, so the market should reopen on Monday. Oh, okay. So it's a UK holiday on Monday. Yeah, not a US holiday, but I guess it's a UK holiday. So let's see. Yeah, there's nothing here on Monday, so we are going to be trading on Monday. All right, so sell signal here came up. No setup here for a sell. Sell signal retracement. If the candle comes back below the momentum here, possible setup for a sell, but it's not looking like it right here. About 15 seconds left on this. If it closes below the sell signal, possibly an entry there, but no, it's not looking like it. Yeah. So nothing right there for a sell. Again, a possible buy entry here. We have a buy signal currently pending or just closed. But there are no confluences here. Yeah, nothing here. All right, Tark's done for today. So we'll see you back here on Monday, Tark. All right, guys, if there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. Let's see, Sam said, thanks for today, Sean. Enjoy the weekend. You were super, bro. Yeah, definitely, Sam. And you did great work today, too, as well. But yeah, if there's any question that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. I don't see any confluences here for a buy or a sell, so I don't really think there's going to be any opportunities for me to hop into. I'm pretty satisfied with my stats for this week so far. We had a win streak start on Monday. Currently, win streak is currently active and currently running continuously. It's a nice recovery from the crazy market last week, right? So obviously I was thinking about taking this week a little easy, which I did. And thankfully it did play out perfect for us. So nice wins for this week. Nice wins for today if you guys took any of these entries here. This trade is still technically running, guys. If anybody was in this buy from earlier, the trade is still technically running. So this is like I said, Barack over here said LOL heart attack. It's still technically active if you're going for that 40-40. So I mean, we'll see if this ends up closing above this this momentum right here. This could be another possible setup for NPSV2, basically going in line with everything else. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for the day. All right, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord, guys. Today was a great week. Going to this weekend, happy, refreshed, and ready to hit the market on Monday. But I think this is a good bounce back that we needed for this month, because this month has been kind of crazy. If you look at my stats here for the month of April, so we had basically a break-even, slight profit week on the first week of April. And then over here, second week of April is kind of crazy, right? Like it's all over the place with the volatile market. And then this week, thankfully, we had the consistency where we came right back into play. So 2 back-to-back wins. Technically would have been 3 back-to-back wins if I took trades today, but unfortunately, I just did not take the entries, which is completely fine. as long as we close out this week in the green. So for this week, I'm currently up 56,430, and I'm happy with that. Can't complain. So, all right, guys, I think that's it. Let's see. Brian said it shouldn't be active when the sell signal comes up, right? Yeah, exactly. So, or no, it's still running. So I think your question is if we have a buy entry here, if a sell signal comes up, it should still be like you're thinking you should close it, right? So no, that's not the case. If there's an entry running, it just pretty much runs until it hits. I mean, this is very unusual, right? This shouldn't be running for this long. Like this trade has been running for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 minutes here. So, I mean, we just never see this. So like this never really becomes a case where the trade ends up running for this long. Usually it should have hit by now, right? At least within the first 5 to 10 minutes. But in a situation like this, I mean, technically you're supposed to just continue holding on to it. Like we never really get these types of setups or these types of situations. So you're supposed to just hold it until it reaches, TP or stop loss. The only time where it cancels out is if this entry never showed up and then a sell signal comes up. So for example, here we have a sell signal that came up. The sell entry never actually appeared, and then we had a buy entry over here that came up. So then it would have canceled it out. So this would have canceled out if nothing came up here. This would have canceled out since nothing came up here, and then vice versa. If we get another sell signal here, this would cancel out this buy. So yeah, you're supposed to hold it to full TP or full stop loss. However, if the ATR drops down, you're supposed to adjust your TP a little lower to pretty much match the ATR so you can get out of that position. So hopefully that makes sense, Brian. I know it might sound a little confusing, but the main gist of it is basically you're supposed to just hold it on until it's TP or stop loss. And then you can make small adjustments if the ATR gets tighter. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. I'll be back later today around 2 o'clock. I have a mentoring session with Devin. If anybody wants to just sit in, I won't be answering questions, but me and Devin will be covering stuff that he needs to cover. And then at 4 o'clock, I'll have a session with Nick as well. If you guys want to sit in on that, not sure what we're going to cover with him, but he's a little more experienced, so we'll be covering some things that he needs help with. So. All right, guys, if I don't see you guys here on the mentoring session later at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I'll see you guys back here on Monday for market open. Again, no live session tomorrow. Markets are closed. So have a great weekend if I don't see you guys later today, and be back here on Monday fresh and ready to hit the markets. So, all right, guys.